Not ready. Need to be somewhere.
So I just press that one to Sorry?
I'd just like to sit for a couple of minutes.
Okay, so give it a couple, 3 minutes.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Okay. All very quiet. No pressure. You ready? Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
Wow. Very warm welcome to everybody. As you can see today, I'm not Lawrence, because Lawrence is sitting here. I'm sharing the ceremony this morning. A very warm welcome to everybody online. Thank you for joining us. We know you come online from all around the world, and if you could actually see how many people are in here today, it's amazing, because we've got wonderful weather outside. And you know, why isn't everybody on the beach? No, they're here.
Don't tell them that.
To see Lawrence. So, without further ado, I shall ask Lawrence to open up with the prayer.
Thank you, Ian. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, if you'd like to still your minds for this time, set aside all our earthly cares and concerns, our worries and those things that bother us. And just join in this time, this space, this energy, this special gathering, this time of togetherness and community, this time of our own education and our own link to the spirit world. Bring forward those messages of upliftment, encouragement, empowerment, and those messages too of love, and that evidence of the continuity of life. I would ask as your medium today that my physical mind be stilled, that my own doubts and concerns be put to one side, and that my mind be made clear and still as a pond, so that all that is cast upon it be reflected truly and without hindrance of my own thinking. So we leave this service today in thy wonderful care, keeping and love, all done under the name and the banner of God of our own understanding. Amen.
Amen. If you'd like to join Lawrence and I in the Lord's Prayer. Our Father,
Who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not when in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you. We now come to that part of the service which is, for me, very prominent, because I'm part of the healing team here and we have a number of our healers. Healing is something that we all do, but we don't realise it, and we're all capable of doing it. And when we have such a lovely congregation like this today, we can collectively send our prayers and thoughts to all those who need it. So during the healing music that comes on, if anybody would like to raise their hands and mention a name in particular, when I come to you, please mention that name, and we all collectively can send our love and thoughts and healings to those particular people. So if you'd like to relax, place yourself in a lovely position and comfortable position, I will play the music.
Queen.
Grand Architect of the universe, God of our own understanding, please send all those thoughts, those loving, healing words, and send them to the people who have had their loved ones today thought of by everybody here in this room. Let us also just think of one particular lady who sadly passed away this last week or so, Dame Debbie James, who's raised so much money for the charity of bowel cancer, and her strapline was "Look after your poo." And ladies and gentlemen, if there was ever words that made you laugh, it was that, but it was something very poignant to her. Please think of her family and the loved ones around her. God bless. Amen.
Amen.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we now come to our mediumship with Lawrence. And at this time, Lawrence normally says to everybody, you know what to do, but I will just run through it once again.
Before we do, can I do the philosophy?
Oh gosh, sorry. I'm ahead of myself. I
Yeah,
apologise.
I'm
keen. I apologise. Before we do that.
When we're up here, we panic.
Yeah.
And all we can think of is, why isn't it 12 o'clock here?
I've been running through this ceremony in my head for the last week or two, thinking, I'll get that bit paid, not that bit. Anyhow, so I'm going to hand over to Lawrence. I was right, but not just to do that bit yet. The philosophy and the reading. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ian. It's not easy up here. You may sit there thinking, it's easy. It really isn't. So thank you, Ian. And thank you for that mention as well, because I have that particular association with that condition. So that was Very nicely brought in, thank you. So my reading today is from a gentleman called Tim Freke. Imagine for a moment you are dreaming. You are completely engrossed in the dramas of your dream world when a mysterious stranger appears in your dreams. He sidles up to you and softly whispers something extraordinary in your ear. Psst! Wake up. You're dreaming. You are disconcerted, but keep your cool. You know the best way to deal with people who are clearly out of the box is to nod politely and hope that they will go away. But the stranger is persistent. I know it sounds mad to you right now, but you're dreaming. You feel irritated. That's absurd, you say. The stranger is unperturbed. Is it really absurd? Haven't you noticed how full of significant patterns and strange coincidences your experience is? As if there is some hidden meaning. Well, that's because this is a dream. You become angry. What? What are you saying? Are you saying that the world is some kind of an unreal delusion? I find that offensive. Tell that to all those people who are suffering. The stranger is patient. Of course this world is real. It is a real dream world. Its wonders are truly wonderful, and its horrors are truly horrible. I'm not dismissing it. I'm simply pointing out that it is a dream. You're confused. What do you mean? The stranger explains. Right now, you think that you are a person talking to me, but that's just who you temporarily appear to be in this dream. The real you is the dreamer, and the whole dream world exists in you. You're stunned. Are you asking me to believe that I am imagining talking to you? Surely you are not a product of my imagination. The stranger smiles kindly. The person that you seem to be is not imagining this conversation with me, because that person is a part of this dream. But really, you are the dreamer, who is imagining everything and everyone in this dream. We appear to be separate people, having a conversation. But actually, we are both the dreamer. You begin to panic now. Now, you are freaking me out. I'm losing my hold on who I am. The stranger is calmly reassuring. Don't worry, you're just beginning to wake up. This is a dream of awakening. It is designed to make you progressively more conscious until you realize you are conscious enough to realize that you are dreaming. You're confused by this, but I don't understand. How do I wake up? The stranger looks you straight in the eye. You can wake up any time you want. You simply have to want to wake up more than you fear it. And there is nothing to fear. Waking up feels good. Knowing you are dreaming is the secret of enjoying the dream. Your anxiety becomes excitement. You want to wake up. And the more you want to wake up, the more you become conscious that you are dreaming. And that feels good. You are no longer frightened by all the terrors that may afflict you in the dream, because you know the real you is safe. Even if the person you seem to be were to die, it would be okay, because actually, you are the dreamer. Overwhelmed with gratitude, you begin to thank the stranger, but he has moved on and is now in deep conversation with someone else who is also looking shocked and intrigued. You call after him, What now? He turns and briefly grins. Enjoy the dream and help everyone to enjoy it as well, because we are all you. For a moment, you just stand there and let this awesome realization sink in. Then you notice nearby a number of anxious-looking people hurrying about their business, fully convinced that they know exactly who they are and what is going on. You smile to yourself and sidle up to one of them and whisper softly, "Psst, wake up, you're dreaming." You may think, what has that got to do with spiritualism? To me, that embodies one aspect of this wonderful philosophy, way of life, religion, however you call it. Those of you who are on the path of spiritual development, and by that I do not mean in the art of evidential mediumship. Spiritualism brings through spirituality. It brings through growth. It brings through understanding. We have that main tenet of our religion, our philosophy, that through the evidential mediumship, through the philosophical mediumship, through our automatic writers, that continual evidence can be brought forward to prove the existence of the continuity of life. That when we close our eyes here in this realm, we open them somewhere else. Where that be is to our own imagination, we create our own heaven. We create that place where we go to. And in time, that place may too change. But it is of our creation. Each and every week, up and down our land, and now on our computers and across the world, we see demonstrations of evidential mediumship, where mediums who are well honed in their craft can bring through that evidence of those who we thought lost to us, that continue to exist. Their consciousness is a faculty that continues to function. That is evidence, and evidence makes up part of the case. So in and through receiving that evidence, this is a prompt from our friends in spirit to start on your own path. For what greater truth is there that there is no death? There is a change. Do butterflies mourn caterpillars? I think not. There is a change. And yes, we will mourn the absence. We will mourn that physicality. We will mourn that loss to us in our lives of those who continue on this path. And that is perfectly natural. We're not saying celebrate and party. We mourn, we honour, and we respect those who have gone on before. But with that underpinning knowledge that they are not dead. They are not laying in a grave. They are not waiting for the trumpets. They are not in any state of stasis. They are active. They are engaged. They are working. They are out there. And most importantly, they are around us. And can we feel it or not? It matters not. Because like in the reading, all these little coincidences, all these little nudges that we get. Oh, that's funny, I was just about to phone you. Oh, that's funny, I'm just thinking of you. It's all part of a grand dance. Life is like this huge dance where we each take our turn with our partners for that time in the dance, aware of those around us, maybe taking a quiet moment apart. But it is a huge dance. It's about movement, because movement is life. What can we take from spiritualism? We can take that firm fact that the personality, the intelligence, that character of those who walk beyond us into the veil continue to function. But how can that help us here? Because, you know, we're going to leave here today into today's world. And today's world is challenging. Everywhere you look, there are challenges. In the finances, in the transport, in the threats of war, of more disease, there are challenges. So how can that help us? Do you know what? It's one of the greatest tools to help us, to encourage us to develop our own link with the Spirit. And by that I do not mean of giving messages, just feeling that presence. Seeing the robin in the garden that says to you, I'm here. Having that little prompt to help others, to talk to others, to heal, to work within churches. And I don't just limit that to spiritualism. We go out into all the orthodox religions and the many communities that all function and coexist within this world. Where do you think the inspiration comes from for these groups? Where do you think that those opportunities arise as if by magic to bring communities together? Look at this church. Look at the community that's building up here and ongoing. This is not by accident. This is by inspiration. This is by Spirit inspiring those people wherever they are across the world to create. Because creation is in our very own energy, because we are each and every one of us a thread of the divine. So we can walk out of that door today and think, I'm going to have the worst day ever. It's miserable. It's not sunny. I don't like today. And do you know what? You're probably going to have the worst day ever. You probably are going to be miserable and upset because you've created that. You can walk out of the door also and go, wow, look at nature. Look at the green. Look at the sky. Isn't this a joy? And that's the day you're going to have. But that's on the psychological. But on our spiritual side, no prayer never goes unheard. No prayer never goes unanswered. They may not be answered in the way that we would wish, that we would design, but they are answered nonetheless. So we encourage you to learn more about spiritualism or spirituality, wherever your heart draws you, but to actually engage with those teachings, those philosophies, to read, to listen to understand and to engage. Because once we start doing that, the more we put in, the more we get back. So this spiritual pathway, it will help in this life, in this existence. It is all there for the asking. But remember, often we want the answer, but the answer is only achieved through the journey. So go out and embrace whatever your philosophy. It matters not, it's your philosophy. Embrace it. Find out about it. Bring it into your daily lives. Live with it, work with it, and grow with it. Thank you. I'm just being prompted, if anybody's got any questions they want to ask, whether linked to the address or the reading, or just about spiritualism in general, please ask, because these are the times when we can share information. If that's all right, no, carry on, Mr. Chairman. Oh. So, if anybody has got anything, and remember, no question is daft if you don't know the answer. And nobody walked into any church, any foundation, anywhere, knowing everything. We all started somewhere. So if you do have a question, please bring it forward, and I will endeavour with my guides to give an answer, not the answer.
Lawrence, Jim would like to answer.
Can I ask, would you agree that the spirit is the vehicle of the soul?
Interesting question. This is something that's spoken about quite a lot, and we're dealing with very esoteric energies here. So what is the difference between the soul and the spirit? My understanding, learned through communication, is if you were to regard yourself as an egg, not a chocolate one, a real egg, all right? So the outside, the shell, is that physical body, is our physicality. The soul would be the white of the egg, because it's that buffer between the two, and then the spirit could be seen as the yolk. There's many accounts within many of the books, and especially the further you go back on your search in spiritualism, there were some fantastic writings going back to 1876 and beyond, and they talk about a second death in the spirit world, where you lose what we may deem as the soul, because you have that buffer, which to me makes perfect sense, because my interpretation of the spirit world is my interpretation. I understand that when we pass, we will go to somewhere familiar to us. So it depends on our development, our understandings at this stage of life. It will be familiar to us. But after a time, we may not need that familiarity. You know, we are so engaged, we can't drop this life just like that. We are so engaged with food on the table, roof over our head, water in our taps. It makes sense that when we transition, similar conditions are found until we develop that awareness, that understanding, that actually, I don't need a roof over my head. I don't need food on the table. I don't need water from the tap. And that will fall away. Now, to me, that is the soul pulling back from the spirit, the pure spirit, that thread of the divine. Does that answer your question? Or give you a thought? I'm always very... If you ask 10 people the same question from spirit, you will get 10 different points of view. So it's...
Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
It's not a question, it's just, we just looked at each other. When I sat down, we started talking, and you're saying about the, how we're all interconnected with spirit, even though we have physical bodies there. So I sat down, told my two friends here about the amazing dreams I had last night. So for you to stand up there and do that with the dream piece was incredible.
Well, it's true. I find in our dream state, some people say, they'll ask the question, I had this dream and I don't know if it was real or not. My rule of thumb, when we have a dream where we meet up with somebody we thought lost to us, if you can recall that in every little detail after any amount of time has elapsed, to me, that is a spiritual encounter. We all have dreams, don't we? We wake up and just think, oh, that was mad, and by lunchtime it's gone. I think that is a biological happening. When my parents were, one had transitioned, the other was getting ready to transition, I was taken somewhere, and even talking about it now, it's all there. Every fine single detail. So if you can recall these times with that clarity, the evidence very heavily weighs that you have experienced that as spirit in spirit.
Thank you.
Interesting.
When somebody dies of a disease or something, that really nasty, when they get to the other side, do they have to heal over there? Are they healed straight away?
Thank you. That depends entirely on their understanding. Again, we will transition to a world that is familiar with us. And if our last thoughts of this experience of life are of distress and discomfort, that condition, although not the physicality of it, will accompany us to our spirit, our life between lives. We often hear accounts of hospitals in spirit realms. We often hear accounts of places of rest and recuperation. Healing is one of the greatest arts of spiritualism. Even through the evidential mediumship, there is always an element of healing. Healing that we send out works on all sides of life, on all facets. Our understanding of the discomfort and the distress of these people, whether this be of the mind or the body, when they leave the earth, that is not echoed into the spirit land. There is still the need for healing. There may still be the vagaries of the mind. There may still be the discomfort, but not the pain. I believe that so truly, not the pain, not the hurt. That energy is there available for that spirit when they feel more compos mentis, more up to it. They may wish to revisit that to heal themselves. But hand on heart, my understanding is that when you depart this physical life, you also depart the pain, you also depart the anguish, the turmoil, the hurt. Does that answer your question? Yeah, anybody else?
Without being a nuisance, could I just ask
Too
one
late.
more question? When we cross
Lovely, I
over
missed you.
from spirit
Yeah.
to the spirit world, we have a physical body here, but when we go over, it'll be a spiritual body. Will we notice the difference when we go over?
Oh, I most certainly hope so. I would be very disappointed if this muffin top accompanies me. No. Again, it depends on our understanding and our grasp of the different conditions. You know, we may hear heavenly music. But yes, sorry. If we believe that heaven is a beautiful cottage in the countryside where we are going to join up with people who we love dearly, you know what? It's going to be there. And we will be there in our body. We may have that ability to go back a few years. Often spirit present themselves at a younger age, and why not? But it will be what we understand, what we perceive, and how we have engaged with this new reflection of our life, because we don't forget everything that we've learned here. We have to have a transition. That transition can happen like that, or it may take some time. Common question asked is, I want to hear from somebody who has been gone for a number of years and I've never heard from them. That may well be they're taking time in their transition. And it's as simple as that. It's not dislike. They're never, you know, when we hear these stories about, oh, spirits trapped or they're chained to the, I'm sorry, I can't go along with that. I really can't. We can chain ourselves to a situation, but it's nothing that's imposed on you by others. It's a condition that we may impose on ourselves. You know, that wonderful scene in Ghost where he goes on the subway and the guy there, you know, a lot of these films are inspired again, and that is an interesting point of view of somebody who didn't want to say, I'm dead. So I continue on doing what I do, even though it doesn't fulfill me, even though I know it's wrong, but I'm not going to say I'm dead until I'm ready.
to say I'm dead. And you're free to do that. Thank you.
Hi. When we do pass, you know, our loved ones from the spirit world, when they come to greet us,
Yeah.
and when does that really happen?
There is talk of what we call the silver cord, and that's a visualization of the link between the material body and the spirit body. And you hear talk that when people are coming to end of physical life, that cord gets brittle or fragile or stretched. Because we need to try and put it in a physical way, but it's very difficult to put in a physical way. We know that we're surrounded by oxygen, we breathe it, but how do we put that in a physical way? It's there, we know it's there, but you can't see it, touch it, or smell it. Very similar with the passing over as well. We can sometimes, in cases of NDEs, near-death experiences, where people will still be attached to the physical, but they will meet up. And there's many accounts of people meeting up in these situations with loved ones who have said, not your time yet, go back, go back. So there is no hard and fast rule. This is one of the things with spiritualism, and it's a double-edged sword. There is no hard and fast rule, so how do you prove that? You prove it by engaging it and testing it and asking and reading and understanding and being open to changing your philosophy. So there is no set time. I've seen people pre a passing gather round. The person may not be aware of them. They are there nonetheless. Other people may experience that for themselves at the time of that last connection to the physical world. Other people will experience that as well with great emotional traumas and also conditions of the mind where we think they are lost, but they are not. They are free to roam the spirit. All right? Thank you.
Very thoughtful words and everything. It's funny because this morning I let the dog out very early and went back to bed for a little sleep. And during that little sleep, I had a dream that I was going to make a mess this morning. So from now on, I'm going to be focused on what I'm doing. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have our piece of music now, whilst Paul will come round with the your free will offering, which will be greatly received and applied with great thanks. So I shall put music on.
Joyful, joyful, we adore thee, God of glory, Lord of love. Hearts unfold like flowers before thee, owning to the sun above. Melt the clouds of sin and sadness, drive the dark of doubt away. Giver of immortal gladness, fill us with the light of day. All thy works rejoice around thee, earth and heaven reflect thy rays. Stars and angels sing around thee, center of unbroken
Right, now I'll get to that bit.
You better practice.
That I've had a bit of practice at doing this now. So, ladies and gentlemen, as you know at this time, it's a three-way conversation with our past people and our people in this room. So, when Lawrence comes to you, who's Morris? You must have a Morris with you somewhere.
The past life.
When he comes to you, we want a
Yes!
perfect. Ladies and gentlemen, I hand you over to Morris again. He's here. Who's Morris? You must have a Morris with you. Ladies and gentlemen, Lawrence, thank you.
Thank you, Ian.
That's my name, right?
Yes, I tried. With your permission, Mr. Chair, I need to undo my button because I am incredibly warm. And I'm just talking up here at the moment while I am taking my hands out of the pocket because Jack Eckhart keeps telling me off when he watches me online for doing that. So every time I do that, I think, take your hands out of your pocket. So why are we talking about Jack? I would like to come, please, to the lady, first of all, of the couple there. You've got a lovely white bolero thing on. Yeah, thank you. Why are we talking about you? Back in the box, what's this? The communicator at the moment is working from behind me for whatever reason, so I'm just sensing the energies gradually building up here. To begin with, I do have a very feminine energy coming in here. The relationship at the moment to me is not clear. Bring that in. I do feel not a motherly link, but I feel more of a sisterly link to you because she is stepping into one side. Now, when I say sister, I do not mean of the of blood necessarily, but certainly this kinship. You would understand this language about twin soul. You do understand that, and this is what she's just held up, the twin soul flames there. As this lady comes in closer, I do know this was a cancer condition, and I do know also that this cancer, she's got a lovely way of speaking, and I've just got to moderate a couple of the words because we are in church and it is a Sunday. She was right bug out, you know, and this is the way she was very stoic. Thank you. She was very stoic when this condition was diagnosed of, you know what, I'm going to get through this. And it's like she was the strong one for everybody around her because she said, that was my role. That's what I did. Thank you. She's coming right in here now. I've got a brilliant character with this lady. The energy is absolute. I want to go out drinking with this lady. I really want to go out drinking. I'd probably wake up on a tuna boat going to Newfoundland or something. But you know what? It would just be such fun. Huge character with a huge love. Shifting her energy now because she wants to talk to you directly. She's taking your hand to return the time that you held her hand towards the end. And she is saying, thank you so much. Thank you. The memories that we've got here. Was there trips to like mountain conditions here? There's a memory coming in of this lady. And I know I'm looking at a very mountainous area. Where are we going? I want to be going that way, so I'm being drawn to Canada and that area with her as a memory link. If you can't place that at the moment, okay, work with me. Tell me more about that. Okay. This was in conversations with you because you used to talk about places to go and places to visit, correct? Yeah. And she said, you were the girly one who wanted to go fishing and swimming in the blue sea in the Aegean. She said, I was the adventurous one. She said, I wanted to go at the top of this mountain and play at the top there. She's just bringing in that love and that energy. I know that you are in possession of a gift from her and you cherish that very deeply, that whenever you look at it, she is there. And she's saying, of course I am. Where else would I be? Yeah, absolute joy, joy. Why do we go into Jack? I want to give you the name of Jack as well, because Jack has come in twice here please tell me where Jack is. Jack is on the earth, and I'm going to a younger member of a family that you know. Where are we geographically? I want to be going up country here, and I want to be going towards, past Birmingham, and, please give me that name. Round the Staffordshire area. Can you understand that link? You don't at the moment. I'll withdraw that because that just came bouncing in. All right, back to this lady, please. I want to come down there and give you the biggest hug and spin around and a glass of wine as well. I want a glass of wine with you. She loves you so much. Thank you for all the thoughts. Thank you. Thank you for the tribute as well. She went, oh, I was so touched. I was so touched. She said, thank you for being a friend. Enjoy the journey you're on. You're going through a time of transition, she's saying. And she's just, because she has this humour, I've just been put on the front car of a roller coaster and going, whee! And she said, it's great, it's great. And she brings the gentleman in as well on that energy as well, about this time of transition as well there. Whatever the... You're working on him. Good for you. Keep it up, love. Keep it up. You're not allowed to leave, sir, until you sign up being a spiritualist, all right? All we ask is an open mind. All we ask is an open mind. Pure joy. Thank you. Thank you for being here, for without you here, I would not have had the pleasure of this beautiful, beautiful soul. Right, Jack. So I'm working here, right. I have a gentleman stepping forward here in spirit. I've got quite a decisive mind with this man. I'm not, what's the word? I didn't cut people off or cut people short, but I most certainly knew my own mind, and it would take a lot of engagement to shift me off of a path that I had carved myself. I've got, oh, come on, closer, thank you. I'm quite stocky in stature. I'm not a bodybuilder, but I'm certainly not overweight in that area. But I've got a solidness with this man, and I feel also he's just showing me towards later life. We probably went to the same barbers as our chairman today. And he's, after saying that, I know we've got a very nice humour as well with this man. But this humour was only accessed once you really got to know him, because there was this reservation with him when he would meet new people. Where are we going, please? I'm getting drawn. That area. Can you understand this, please, sir? You can a bit?
Yes.
Right, okay. Thank you. That makes perfect sense, because before the service I was being prompted for you. I want to bring back this name of Jack, please, and I want Jack on the earth plane, and I want Jack on the earth plane around you. Do you understand this, please? What do you mean a bit? What do you mean? Do you understand a Jack or a...
Yeah, well, the dog's called Jack. He's very much like that in his personality.
Right, well, that's it. That's fine. You know what? Jack's a dog. Absolutely. You know, all... Thank you. But I know with this Jack as well, there is a strong bond. Jack's your confidant.
Yes.
Jack is the one that lifts you... Thank you. Lifts you out of where you need a break from occasionally, he's telling me. But I know with this man, I need more about you, sir, because I'm here to prove that you're alive. He's got a great laugh. When this guy laughs, it's from here. It really comes up from the boots and it comes out. Because I just said to him, my job is to prove that you're alive. And he just roared with laughter because he's finding this absolutely the thought of organised religion, life beyond life, all that did not factor in this man's life. And I'm not saying because of that it made him any worse, it's just that I'm living here, I do my own thing, and I'm happy doing that. So he's saying here, today, he's finding this very interesting, that actually I can come back and talk. He said, yeah, you thought you got rid of me. And he's nudging someone there as well. I know the link here is bringing you very much into this energy, my sweet. He said, yeah, you thought you got rid of me. Calm down. You know, often we talk about conditions of passing, but I always ask Spirit, how did you live? I don't want to know how you died. I want to know how you lived. And I know this man just lived life. I want to be going out very much into countryside conditions, where I would thrive, because I'm opening the door and all I see is greenery. This is his nature as well as his energy as I'm working here. And I love that. I did not like to be chained down. I did not like to be, really? I was most certainly not somebody constrained by what everybody would call the norm. Yes, the word, thank you. I was struggling for the word there. Yeah, he's...
Are you okay?
He lives life, and he's continuing to live life in that vein and that energy as well. Thank you. There is an apology here. He's talking about there were quite a few loose ends after I'd gone, and he said, and for that I am very sorry. I am very sorry. He said, but really, what did you expect from me? Did you expect an envelope with all the bank details and everything in there? Yeah. And this is how he's going. He's absolutely, he's rocking this today. Thank you. He said, but do you know what? Oh, thank you. For all this, I have got a heart of marzipan here. And I want to talk about marzipan as well as a memory link. I want to know that's a favourite for somebody. Yes, I know marzipan. There's a memory link also. Because his love for you, all of you, really? All of you, knows no limits. For you, sir, he is incredibly strong for you. Everybody here dies wants to know why. Well, you're not going to, because it's private, and that's just being nosy. But he is so, sorry, he is, just told me off. He is so strong for you at the moment because there is that need in your life for that strength, physically, mentally, and emotionally. He said, I wouldn't cry in front of anybody either. He said, so I get it, but I'm there. What's this stone? Somebody's got a stone, something I can pick up, like a memory thing. I've got something here, it's a solid object, and it's really irritating me. Please tell me what it is. It's a small box or something like that that this chap has left behind. And I occasionally pick it up. It's something that will fit into my hand.
Yeah, I've had some of this jewellery.
Okay, but I know I can fit in my hand, and I know at times it's almost like I find myself holding it without making that conscious thought. This is like an inspiration from Spirit, so it gets that link. It's like I'm walking around and suddenly I just find myself holding this.
No matter nature, I find things that you pointed out.
Sorry?
No matter nature, I find things that he holds out, so I feel like a connection to him.
Okay, no, this is a physical object. I'd love to say yes to that. But there is something that you have picked up, and it's inspired when you pick it up. It's not like I'm going to go in and find this and pick it up and think of him. It's just, I just find myself doing it. I find myself doing it. Also, while he was bringing in that energy, I know in earlier years, he could look after himself. Yeah, I want to see me in shorts. I'm seriously, you do not want to see me in shorts. But I want to be a bit handy here. But he's bringing that energy in as well, because you are fighting your battles. And he said, do you know what? You're doing it 100 times better than I did. He said, because I gave it all that first. And he said, and you're not. And he said, I am so proud of you. And he means that. When he punches his chest, he really means that. Anything else? Happy birthday. I want to wish happy birthday. Happy birthday. There's a birthday coming up or just been? Coming up. Yeah, I should have stuck with coming up. Happy birthday. Thank you. Your turn. Do the notes.
Right. You finished? Yeah.
I am.
Right, fair enough. I didn't know if you wanted to do another anymore, so that's fine.
No, we don't do it. Just a quick another one.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for some notices. On Wednesday at 3 o'clock, we have our healing hour. We've got Kevin Biggs, should say. Is he doing his shamanic stuff again?
He's doing something in the shamanic energy.
Right,
yeah.
lovely. On Sunday of next week at 1 a.m. Divine.
11 a.m.
Says 1 a.m.
Well, I can say 1 a.m. You're chairing that
I'm
one.
only reading. I'm reading what he's given me.
You can chair the 1 a.m. service. Have fun.
The misprint. The misprint on the paper here is now 11 o'clock. 1 a.m. 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
With Angie Freeland, and we've got on July the 16th private sittings with Kes Eggleton. Are there any more places left?
I believe we have 3 and 3:30 left.
So there's just a couple of places if anybody would like to book with our booking agency. And, Saturday evening at 7 p.m, is that correct? Yes. A mediumship with Kes that evening as well. So, and then it's £8 on the door. So it's an evening of mediumship with her. On Thursday the 21st, healing with Brian Walker. And Brian is one of our trance healers that comes from Portsmouth, and he's an absolute phenomenal healer. And there's a number of our healing team here who've worked with him, and he is absolutely superb. So if you are wanting some trance healing, he's the man. Really is. Okay. After we close with Lawrence's closing prayer, we're going to be doing the raffle for Sarah Jane's cross, so which we've been promoting over the last few months, and I think it's time to let it go to the person or the recipient who will win. Have we got the raffle?
Yeah, it's all ready.
To go. Lovely. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'll hand back to Lawrence for the closing prayer. Thank you.
Thank you, Ian. Divine and gracious Spirit, we thank you for this time of communion. We thank you for this time of togetherness. We thank you for this service made up of so many energies, brought together, tied together through thy name, that which is eternal love. And as we leave here this day, let us leave here with our hearts uplifted and our minds engaged to walk along this path of this life, to learn, to grow, to encourage, and to nurture. Amen.
I'd like to just thank Lawrence for allowing me to do the chairmanship today, and I hope you've all enjoyed the service.
I allowed you to. That's it. You're signed up now. Thank you. Ian, thank you so much. One of my biggest concerns are that one day, for whatever reason, like I've just won the lottery, I'm not going to be here.
Well, I'll be following you if you win the lottery.
So, thank you everybody who has donated. I must say, we have sold many tickets. Also, a lot of people have quietly donated sums of money, not wishing to be put in the raffle. Thank you.
It's lovely.
Those of you who are not sure what we're talking about, there are 2 caravans in the Forest of Dean, and they are run by a wonderful lady called Jane Ager. The purpose of these caravans is to give veterans, both serving and retired, who are enduring a life with PTSD. Now, PTSD is terrible, terrible condition. And these guys and girls can have that little break. It's an idyllic scene. It really is. It's a beautiful scene. So they can have a little break just to breathe. The cost of these nights are £25 a night. Now, obviously, when we are engaged with various health conditions, that money may not be available. So we have raised enough now to supply 8 nights accommodation.
Wow.
So these can be used as whole nights or part payment of nights, so that might increase it to 16. We'll hand that money to Jane because she knows her veterans the best to use as she will. But thank you from everybody who bought tickets or donated money to this cause. Because you know what? Each and every one of us can make little differences. We really don't know. 2 nights in that caravan, we don't know what effect that can have on people. You know, that can change so much. So well done, all of you. So, being technically minded, here we go. We have an electronic spinner. Yay!
Did you get music as well?
Oh, they've got sound effects. Number 33, which is Christine Saville. Yay! We know Christine, she's a regular. Did I say irregular? She is a regular. So well done, Christine. If you're at home watching this, while you're at home, why aren't you here? But again, everybody who gave, donated, whatever, thank you, because you will change people's lives just through that simple act. So thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
And thank you, Sarah Jane, who's trying to hide at the back. Well done. Thank you, everybody. Have a beautiful, wonderful day. Whatever you're doing, enjoy it. Engage.